Rob, you love a transfer, as everyone who watches the Anfield Wrap knows.
I've heard.
It's been, is it 7 weeks now, I think, since we signed Konate? And then we've had a piece this week from James Pearce, bad news Pearce, and it's basically rubbished every one of those rumours pretty much that we've all been talking about all these weeks, and it's like, oh, what happens now?
James, you're a piece of work. And it wasn't just, you didn't just go for one or two. He did a fucking massive athletic piece, and he systematically went bullshit, 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 bullshit. Every single one. But he did it in that sort of way where I don't think he even believes they can't all be bullshit. Because he ruled out half of Europe, you know? So somewhere along the line we're buying a footballer, I think. And we had all this last summer. You know, James has got a job to do, hasn't he, as of the local patch journos, and rumour comes out, and fans are nagging them about it, so they pick up the phone to their contacts at Liverpool and they go, are you going to tell me if you're buying him? And they're going to go, of course we're not, James, it's rubbish. And he goes, as far as I know, they're not buying him. That's all that's going on there, quite frankly, and, you know, fair play. But you know, I do wish, as a part of me, wishes the universe was different, and they could just give us a clue without messing up their whole business model. You know,
it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I wish there was a sense of the theatre of transfers. You know, the fact it is just showbiz. You know, maybe it's more like that American draft thing. What do? They all gather round and go, I'll have him, you have him.
Yeah.
At least, you know, it is what it is. And I think somewhere along the line, football's got to get its head around that. You know, we can call it people being weirdos or transfer nonsense, as you do forever, but it has become part and parcel of the entertainment value of the sport. There needs to be another way. I don't know. What do I know?
There's 28 days to go at the time of filming, James, until we kick off against Norwich. Obviously, we all know the story about the lads who were injured who are now coming back. It looks like Matip's the furthest ahead in terms of a centre-half that we can partner with Konate. Or maybe Phillips, who's still here. But how are you feeling generally about it all? I mean, we just said there's this sort of impasse currently about transfers. James's piece listed a whole big load of players that Liverpool would like to sell in an ideal world. No one really seems to be buying. Liverpool digging in about fees as well. So, you know, there is a world here. There is a possibility. Rob's saying we'll buy someone, but there is a possibility also that we go with the lads we've got, certainly for that first game against Norwich, because it could be a bit of a, you know, a Mexican standoff job where everything gets left to the very end of the transfer window. And as I say, for Norwich, we might have to stick with the boys we've got.
Which is no bad thing. I mean, you have to, you know, let's not forget, it's on the back of just an absolute car crash of the season. And you kind of have to remove that from your mind a little bit and just put that out the window, because it was a complete nonsense. If our starting 11 or starting 15, 16, you know, including the bench, are all fit, we've still got one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. It's not like we're crying out for world-class players to improve our squad. So whilst I do understand the you know, the furore on social media and you know, on various podcasts and stuff, and people, you know, getting angry at the lack of transfer news and rumours. You've got to take it with a little bit of context. You know, we're never going to be Man City. We're never going to be these big clubs that drop, you know, that kind of money every single transfer window. But you have to ask yourself what we really need. And I think, you know, I'm sure we're going to come on to it, but, you know, a midfielder would probably not go amiss, and someone else to back up, you know, up top as well. You know,
we have Jib Ginny. I mean, that's one they can't slither past. Even Kloppo, you know, we're going, hey, I trust my guys, right? That's fine. Apart from when you sell the one that played 50 games.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's any way of sliding around that. Even if you want to pretend that some kid's going to fill those shoes, it's just not happening. That we have to buy a midfielder.
Well, the other one, Sian, as well, is like I totally get what Rob said, and I would agree with him there. But the other one is around the forwards. Like it feels right now, you know, that we're pretty well stocked in that we've got the front three, we've got Jota, we've still got Divi kicking around, whether people are fuming or not about that. He's there, he's a body, he's a man who can play up front. But all three of those, the front three, are all on the cusp of 30 now. Bobby's 30 in October, I think. Mane's 30 in April, I think. I can't remember when Salah's 30, but his next birthday is 30. They're all, you know, so they're all at that end of the career. And there's a line in James Pearce's piece which says, a young forward. They want a young forward. Now, they had a young forward in Brewster, but, you know, binned them off, decided he wasn't good enough, cashed in. Would you be happy with a young forward, or do you want someone a bit more established? Like what do you want to see them do up front?
I think it's unrealistic to think we're going to go out and buy anyone who goes straight into the first 11, because it's just going to cost an absolute bomb. But I think, you know, it's realistic to now say it's a squad in transition. Maybe starting that transition, you know, we've still got a few years left of them, but they're all kind of hitting the peak, if not already hit it. But then you also look at the fringe players, and I think they're also kind of almost at risk of becoming a bit stagnant and a bit stale. And I don't think of the players we could bring in, I don't think they'd necessarily be better than the fringe players, but I do feel like the motivation might be there, because you've got like Shaqiri, Origi, like they've been on the fringe for a while now and they've not broke through. Like, is their motivation still there when they're coming on? Whereas you could get fresh blood through, who yet might be fringe players, but I think they might have that extra bite to them.